So we have just reflected the virtues of the Buddha, Dhamma and the Sangha. And this is time for the practice of a meditation. So practice of a meditation involves sitting comfortably, and leaving all your distractions aside, and sitting upright. If possible, if you're sitting on a floor, right hand on top of the left hand, or sitting like this, you may put your right hand on top of the left hand. Meanwhile, you may put your legs, one right leg on top of the left leg, or the two legs together, or simply sitting comfortable, whichever ways you feel comfortable. And if you're sitting on the chair or a cushion, again, that's fine. And if possible, do not lean, but try to sit upright. And once you have seated comfortably, and this moment, bring your attention to be mindful of the breath, incoming and outgoing breath. And when you're mindful of incoming and outgoing breath, there are other sensations or other movements you can observe, like the abdomen rises, falls, or the chest rises, falls. And sometimes you may go along with the breath, aware of the entire body. And whenever mind lost in thought, simply bring it back. When we talk about bringing this mind back, doesn't mean that we have to go and search or find out from somewhere else. The mind is always here in this present moment. All what we need is to have a right understanding. We can be mindful of this mind, which is thinking about the past or the future or the stories. And this is happening here, this moment. It's not that you are in the past and thinking of the past. It is not that you are in the future and thinking about the future. But we are in the present moment here. But we are thinking of the past. Again, thinking of the past or any stories that happens here, that this moment, or even about the past or future. We are thinking now, but we have a perception that we think of the past or think of the future, or we are in the past or in the future. But in fact, when we become mindful of our own mind, then we realize that everything is happening here in the present moment. And when we say that bring it back to the breath or the abdomen, is simply we become mindful that my mind is thinking, not be aware of the present moment awareness. So we are simply changing our awareness to things that's happening here, rather than thinking of something else. And that is known as being mindful of things at the time when it is taking place, the way it is as they are. It is not about your thinking. Thinking is not meditation. Thinking does not generate wisdom. Thinking is basically our perception, our memories, our experience, and we try to make sense and we try to match it with our past experiences and knowledges to the present experience. That doesn't give us wisdom. That doesn't help us to understand the things as they truly are. So the sati, or the mindfulness, is not about not about thinking anything. It's being mindful. Sometimes we have a conflict within ourselves, particularly in the West. We become so accustomed with the different teachers. We read different books on a meditation written by different teachers. It could be a Mahayana Buddhism, or Mahayana teachers, or Zen Buddhism, Zen philosophies, and Theravada Buddhism, Theravada concept, like that. So we have so much, and then when you are listening one teacher or my instructions, then you will be having, oh, my teacher says so, my teacher taught differently, I read different ways, and like that. So you're thinking. So you have to give away thinking that. I used to be a person who thinks a lot and do not believe on what the teachers used to say. And I even had a doubt on the Buddha's teachings. But if we do not believe on the teachers that is available, or the teachers that is willing to help us, then who do we believe in? Who will teach us? So with that, later, whenever I come across with any teacher, I devote it fully and learn until I realized. And this is in line with the Buddha as well. When Buddha once he left the palace and went to practice with the two great teachers at that time, he didn't question about their teachings, about their methods. He fully offered himself to their teachers and studied. So that's the same in our practice of a meditation too. So we are not thinking, we are not bringing any thing that we have experienced or we have read or my teacher says so. This is not the one I supposed to be doing. So all give up. Just let go and be mindful of this present moment, what's going on. This body always here. This breath always present. When breath comes into the body, it generates the feelings. When it generates the feeling, we simply observe and aware of that feeling. When we observe and aware of that feeling, then we see our mind. When we see our mind in its true nature, then we see that mind changes. Each time we take a breath in, that is changing when we breathe out. So breathing in, breathing out, the change is there. Rising, falling, the change is there. So aware of that. This is the present moment awareness. So in the practice of a meditation, that's why we have to have sati and sampajanya. Sati is being mindful. Sampajanya is being aware of the present moment. So being mindful of the present moment and ability to comprehend completely this moment. It doesn't matter what's happening, doesn't matter what is going on. All our job is to be mindful. So be mindful of the present moment in this time, here and now. And in order to get progress in our meditation, we have to develop certain qualities, generating loving kindness, caring and sharing, nature, developing this sharing mentality. It's like treating any second person as the very important, valuable person that we may be seeing or meeting for the last time. So it's like giving a last great feast, or giving a great time to that person. So sharing. And being mindful of our senses, not letting it to indulge, whether it is food or whether it is music or whether it is the movies. So being mindful of that, and our life is already so much deluded. We are already living in a clouded world. Our mind is already clouded, so be mindful of taking any substances that clouds our mind. And this is the fundamental part to develop our mindfulness and generating nature of sharing and giving. And we normally holds the anger, jealousy, ill will, animosities, and like that. So we have to give. That's why Buddha taught to learn to give as the foundation. And also Buddha taught learn to give to the monks, and monasteries are the base to help you to develop further, letting go of other things. So once we have developed these qualities, then samadhi, the concentration, becomes stronger and wisdom become aroused. So with this reflection and keeping in your mind, being mindful of your body, this present moment, and the breath that is coming in and going out, and with the help of any movements or any sensations, we are mindful in here and now. So being present here and now And everything that we are thinking, whether it is past or the future, is taking place in the present moment. And that's the way to practice meditation. So we will practice meditation in this way for about 5-6 minutes before we practice the loving kindness. So continue practicing until you hear the gong, and we will practice the loving kindness meditation to finish it off. So continue practicing. So we'll practice loving kindness meditation, aware of sensations, and sharing loving kindness to yourself as a first person. Sometimes we forget ourselves, so sharing towards yourself. I am well, I am happy, I am peaceful. May no harm come to me. Similarly, thinking of close ones and all other sentient beings, freeing yourself from any negativities, jealousy, ill will, animosity, letting go and generating loving kindness and compassion towards them. May they be happy, wishing them to be well, happy, at peace. Whatever beings there are, may they be well and happy. May they be able to maintain their happiness. May no harm come to them. May they rejoice on the merits that I have accumulated on this occasion and liberate themselves. Nibbana Pacayo Hotu. So as you hear the gong slowly coming out from meditation and reflecting for a few moments before we do the last veneration. Let's pay respect to the Buddha Dhammasanga. Arahang Samma Sambuddho Bhagavan Buddhang Bhagavantang Abhivade Sawakhato Bhagavata Dhammo Dhammang Namasami Subhadipano Bhagava Savaka Sangho Sanghang Namami.